Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet. We welcome you to another exciting edition of Radio Biafra live transmission on this very day, the 16th day of November. This very holy Shabbat day, this very last day of the week, because tomorrow is the start of a new week. Therefore, we must preach this very gospel as intended. We must disseminate this very news of liberation. We must continue tirelessly and relentlessly in pursuit of that which is righteous before God in heaven and good men on this very earth. I welcome you, and I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night to some of you. Regardless of where you are, regardless of what you are doing, as long as you are close to your dial, if you are in Biafra land, CHK 102.1, 102.2, depending on where you are.
In our praises soon. In our land of Zion land, in our land of Biafra kingdom. See the Magian men in our land, in our land, in our land of praises soon. Go to our land, kill my people. In our land of praises soon, in our land of Biafra kingdom. See the Momo class in our land, in our land, in our land of praises soon. Rebbe me sister, Jelly me sister. In our land of Biafra land, in our land of Biafra kingdom. See the Momo class in our land, in our land, in our land of praises soon. Training me brother, training me people. In our land of Biafra land, in our land of Biafra kingdom. Cha! The land of Israel. See them oppressor men in our land, in our land. Stealing iron, silver and gold. In our land of praises soon. In our land, in our land, in our land of Biafra land. Iron, Rastafari, come down from Judah. See the criminals in our land, in our land. Really we are in our land, in our land of Biafra land. In our land of praises soon. In our land of Biafra kingdom. School, no road, no hospitals. In our land of Biafra land. No justice, no international presence. In our land of praises soon. Since the colonial time, all the buildings prison yard. In our land, in our land. In our land of Biafra kingdom. See men like Babylon, burning fire in our land. In our land, in our land, in our land of Biafra land. In our land, in our land, in our land of Biafra kingdom. Anyway, all the children of the land of praises of Biafra, the portrait of God of earth. Living in Babylon, Jamaica, London, New York, Asians, all over the world, don't give up, fight for your rights. The bomb Biafra lands. The bomb Igbo land, the bomb Bodi land, the bomb Jesse land, the bomb Ijo land, the bomb Lido land. In our land of praises soon, in our land of Biafra kingdom. So children of Igbo land. Children of Ijaland, children of Idomaland, children of Efiland, children of Roland, children of Anland, children of Ogoniland, children of Igaland, children of Africans. Wake up! Biafra, wake up! Wake up! Biafra, wake up! Wake up! Biafra, wake up!
allow me to worship Chukwukika on behalf of the entire family listening right across the length and breadth of this very planet. Umu Chineke, all of you who are ordained, all of you who are destined to perform wonders, I welcome all of you. Now, I will present you to Chukwukika in heaven. Therefore, our Father who resided in heavens above, looking down upon the pain and the suffering of your children, as was foretold by those who have gone before us, that a day will come when the world will gang up, when all the children of darkness will congregate to prevail against your children. That time is now. We are in pain. We are in so much suffering that man cannot begin to comprehend it. We ask for your mercy. We ask for you to come and present and provide a way where there is none. We ask you to Chukwukika Biama, if we came amanime ndonwinime ndị IPOB n'ebe niile dị iche iche ruo ebe niile ụwa sọtụrụ ka ịdị mmadụ na-ebere gị biko gbaso ha ụbọchị niile nke ndụ ha. Ọ bụ asụsụ eluigwe. We call upon you this evening. The vultures are congregating. The saboteurs are rising up. We are beginning to identify them. And we are dealing with them. We ask you to give us the strength. We ask you for courage. We ask you for every ounce of determination and resilience. Make us as hard as steel, as only you can do. Baptize us in your word, in your knowledge, in your truthfulness, and in your strength. Make it impossible for our enemies to come close to us. Destroy them before they come very close. We will be tempted, of course. Our defenses will be tried without a shadow of a doubt. Sometimes there may be breaches, but in the end we prevail because that is your word and that is your promise. This evening we hold on resolutely to that very command of yours. Your own spoken word. The word that you gave to your children when you said to them that they should not worship any idol. They should not bow before any graven image. We have made mistakes in our lives. We have bowed before European idols. We have done everything but worship you in truth and honesty. But now, having realized the errors of our ways, we present ourselves before you, that you may do with us as you please. So it was prayed thousands of years ago. That same prayer will re-echo because we are nothing without you. We are nothing without you. We can have the best defenses in the whole world. We can procure the finest anti-jamming equipment available. But it is you that will defend your inheritance. You will defend Biafra. You know that we are honest and truthful people. You know that we preach this gospel in the knowledge that your children must be free in the land of the living. That they may go back and worship you in Zion as they have done thousands of years ago. This is our prayer, now and always, because we are your children. You can't abandon us to the forces of evil and darkness. That is not your will. And it can never be. That is why today, tomorrow and always, as you have called us to undertake this very monumental and epic task, as you have determined that your word must be preached in the land, that very land you gave to our ancestors thousands of years ago, so shall it be done in our lifetime. Allow us to be worthy to serve thee. Chukwu Abiyama, allow us to be considered worthy to serve you. You know we speak the truth. Our enemies are liars. They are cheats and they are killers. They are bloodthirsty bastards, all of them. All of them are known. They have brought their lies to bear upon all their dealings. Their tongue is very spiteful. against those of them who are righteous before your sight. Please don't allow shame to befall your children. Don't allow shame to befall your name, because we answer your name, we bear your name. That is why today we make this very prayer in the sure knowledge that Biafra will be restored as your own kingdom upon the face of the earth. That you will be worshipped every blessed day of our lives, as our children will do, and so will their children. Until time everlasting we have prayed in your name. Ise. Ise. Ise.
Ise. Alright, a great evening all the way from Hello Motherland, South Africa. Once again, we are reaching you live from Johannesburg. We are here to propagate the gospel of redemption, gospel of truth, gospel of freedom. There is nothing can be able to stop our movement. Like it or not, we are here to make sure that the gospel of redemption being preached all over the world. There is nothing can stop the quest of our freedom. Once again, we will not hesitate to say, may Elohim keep blessing our leader, Madike one of Biafra, a great man indeed. But this night, I will not hesitate to try to repeat the broadcast, although due to the short time, maybe in case if the place I stop, you can. Let me see. Because whenever you listen to the word of our great leader, you realize what we are into. Because we have many enemies. We have many things. We have many enemies around us.
Magnify, that is why we must bow, that is why we must kneel, that is why we must submit ourselves unto your will, because you and only you knoweth everything. We ask thee, Elohim, on this very evening of your Shabbat to come and dwell within your children. Give us reasoning, give us understanding. Come and encourage those who are still in detention, their families, those who have suffered, those who are in mourning, those who have lost precious and loved ones in this very effort to restore your kingdom upon the face of the earth. We are to do that. We know what we are doing. We know the price is very high, but it is a price that we are prepared to pay to ensure that your kingdom will descend from heaven upon this very earth in the land of Biafra, that your light may shine in the continent of darkness. And above all, that your will may be done upon our lives. Therefore we pray that you bless this very generation, this very IPOB that only you instituted, this very movement that has taken the entire world by storm. We have nothing, absolutely nothing, only your grace. Therefore we pray, we Elohim, to open up our eyes and our ears, that this very gospel, Heavenly Father, may dwell amongst us, that we may derive reasoning from it, that we may become emboldened by it, that we may ceaselessly, without fear, before our enemies proclaim the righteousness of the citizens of Biafra as a nation. We call upon thee to be with us, abide with us. You forbade us to commune with the spirit of the dead, but we ask you to accept every of their soul in thy bosom. For your work we shall do, and in the end Biafra shall come to the exaltation and the lifting up of your holy name. Now and forevermore we pray. He said, we welcome those who may be joining us for the very first time. This is Radio Biafra. This is a live presentation to the entirety of humanity across the 24 time zones of this very earth. Radio Biafra is resonating. Our enemies are not sleeping, they are relentless. Jibril has fled from London because they told him that IPOB is running today in London. They quickly smuggled him out and took him back to the zoo. That is how formidable we are. Relentless and ceaseless, we continue to move forward. We do not deviate. We will not capitulate. We will not surrender. We will never retreat. Our destination is Biafra. Until we get there, everything we encounter we crush. Not by the force of arms, but by the overbearing strength of our argument, our knowledge, our wisdom, and our intellect. Wisdom today has never been challenged by anyone. Therefore, we must continue resolutely and determinedly towards our destination, which is Biafra. From time immemorial, we have preached this very gospel. We have said repeatedly what the Fulani cabal is going to do, and they have never put us wrong. They have continued to do it. Today, people are lamenting. Even Goodluck Jonathan, the former president of the Zoological Republic, is lamenting. Even though they have called upon to superintend their voting process, are complaining nothing is working. The zoo is precipitously collapsing, being held up only by the most extreme form of brutality, the most inexcusable nepotism and dictatorship. But all that is unraveling and it is coming to an end because, unlike before, now there is IPOB. Now we are marching relentlessly towards our goal, which is freedom. And in the process, I'm sure, we will be able to liberate every nationality, every ethnic group trapped in that damnation created by Nnamdi. But before we proceed any further, I must comment on the effort we are making to ensure that the issue of Biafra resonates all over the world. Because there is a lot of deliberate and orchestrated ignorance about Biafra. I want our people to listen and listen very carefully this evening, because some of us do not understand the enormity of the challenges that we are facing. Only those of us at the very cold face of this movement understand the gravity and the weight of not only expectation but of the problems that we encounter on a daily basis. But thankfully, to Elohim and no other, to Bikabiyama, we continue to surmount all these problems as they emerge. Things are happening in the zoo, which we are obliged to expose. But before we do so, we must inform you that we continue to make every effort to ensure that every government, every country, every nation is aware of the efforts we are making to restore Biafra in truth and every honesty. When we saw diplomats at the United Nations in Switzerland, without mentioning names and without prejudice, there was a comment that one of them made that resonated with us. He said to us that this is the very first time we are having this high-level meeting with representatives of Biafra. say that this has never happened in the past 50 years since after the war. Therefore, our petition to them will be looked into. And there's something will be done about it. I thought he was going to stop there, but he didn't. He went on to say that those of them that have tried to raise the issue of Biafra at the UN headquarters in New York face a very steep challenge. He said that each time they mention Biafra, a very steep challenge, I must say, not steep, but steep. He said anytime they mention Biafra in any meeting, most people stand up and walk away. That the diplomats do not want to discuss it. They do not wish to discuss it. And of course, we need to details as to what we are going to do to make sure we mitigate such occurrence, or should I say occurrences in the future. Our people must understand the demons that we are fighting. Only by understanding the demons you are fighting will you be able to overcome them. Some of us very flippantly comment about Biafra as if you just wave the magic wand and Biafra will be there. Things don't work that way. That was what we failed between 1967 and 1970. And it is a mistake that this very crop, this very generation of Biafrans are not prepared to repeat. We must also know that the war was forced upon us. But one thing we never factored in was the level of hatred and resentment, should I say envy and jealousy, directed against we Biafrans because of our ingenuity, because of our industry, because of our natural talents that we possess from the womb of our mothers, because we are blessed. As you all well know, those of you who are versed in the scriptures, you know the story of Joseph and the siblings. These are the children of Jacob. Joseph was hated not because of any bad thing that he did. He was hated because he was loved by his father and blessed immensely. The same thing is happening to we Biafrans because we are blessed, because we are talented, we attract envy and jealousy, resentment unfounded, I hasten to add, from quarters that are ill-informed. We must not stop, we are not going to relent, we will continue. The same thing that Israel went through is what we are going through today. And as Israel managed to overcome by the grace of the Almighty God in heaven, the same way are we Biafrans going to succeed in planting Biafra as an independent sovereign nation amongst the community of civilized nations around the world. People must understand that the geological republic, the Nigerian government is doing everything they can to stop us. They continue to bribe ambassadors posted to the zoo. They continue to pay every known media around the world not to ventilate the Biafra issue. They continue to lobby. They continue to engage countless numbers of consultants to make sure that a false narrative is issued all the time against Biafra. They started this very work immediately the war started with the help of the British to spread this very falsehood that Biafra never existed, that we are a people without history. I'm saying all this tonight so you all will understand the obstacles that we are faced with on a daily basis. These obstacles that we are seeking not only to encounter but to overcome. They are massive. Some of you think that only the infidels in our land are against our restoration. You are mistaken. The government of the Jews is against it. They have engaged the Islamic world to lobby on their behalf. These are the things we're encountering meeting after meeting with dignitaries all over the world. And tonight I'm telling you this because we need to intensify. Everybody, each and every one of us has a role to play to ensure that we break down those barriers and get Biafra where it's supposed to be. One of the problems that we have and will continue to have is the inability to get our story, to get our narrative across. We don't have the money that the zoo has, you all know that. We don't have anybody sponsoring us. We don't have money coming in from anywhere. Only the contributions that we make ourselves, and we are competing against oil companies operating in the zoo that prefer the very corrupt climate of the zoological republic called Nigeria to having Biafra. You must understand this very well. And you should also consider this very fact that real Dutch shell, their turnover is greater than the zoological. The turnover of shell in a year is greater than the entire budget of Nigeria as a country. They don't want Biafra either. Someone said to me, why don't you offer them oil and do this? I also replied to them that they are not interested in that. They want Alemaji. Please, I apologize to Hausa people. They want the Fulani, very illiterate Fulani caliphate to continue. A regime of mediocrity, a reign of ignorance and backwardness. Because doing business under such climate is far more lucrative than paying the correct amount of royalties and taxes to any government. You must understand this. We are not just fighting the zoo, we are fighting very powerful forces all around the world against the emergence of Biafra. Some of you don't understand this, so I think it is imperative that I take time out to explain this to you listening, so you begin to appreciate the enormity of the task ahead of us, all of us together. And we are making tremendous headway. But I don't want to count my things before they are hatched. We want to be able to pursue this logical conclusion. And if you understand who your enemies are, you better formulate a strategy to combat and to overwhelm them. And that's exactly what we are doing. The zoo, there are some friends we have in the USA. The first time, my penultimate trip to America, I met our friends in the USA, that's what I call them, our consultants. I had a meeting with them. Somebody saw us, a zoo person saw us in DC, Washington, DC, and told Asarok. The next 48 hours, the vice president of the zoo, Sibajo, contacted these very people who are working for us and offered to pay them 20 times what IPO is paying them to work for us. What I'm telling you is all confirmed. Yemi Osibajo, if you know him, the vice president of the zoo, go and ask him if he contacted the group of consultants working for IPOB in Washington or not. He offered them $2 million every month not to work for IPOB anymore. And do you know what saved us? When we signed contracts with these people, we made it very clear to them, I told the CEO of that very firm that if the zoo know that I've come to see you, they will come for you as well and they will offer you money. So you can imagine, I would say to my surprise, because I knew that was going to happen. He rang me and he told me that, exactly as I said, that the zoo approached them. The vice president of the zoo, for that matter, to give them money not to represent IPOB, to give them money not to advise IPOB on how to ensure that Biafra is restored, but instead to work for them $14 million a month. And being a firm with ethics and morals, they declined. And they told me, and I'm asking you to go towards it for you to understand, the length is who is prepared to go to stop what we are doing. Because you must understand that Fulani has nothing. They contribute nothing about natural resources. No, not at all. I'm talking about advancing a society, contributing meaningfully to society. They bring nothing to the table. They come to the party, they crash this very party that the British prepared for them with nothing. And they have taken over everything. I keep asking this question all the time. Can anybody tell me what meaningful contribution Sokoto is making to the coffers of the zoo? Let us be honest with ourselves. What is Katsina contributing? The home of the late, the death of Buhari. What are they contributing to the national coffers? Those of us in the south are so stupid that we don't ask simple questions. They contribute nothing. So they will do everything within their power to ensure that Nigeria remains as one. Because without it, they are nothing. They have nothing. That is why they invest everything in buying more AK-47 assault rifles, recruiting terrorism to the army, giving them limitless amount of bullets to go out to intimidate, to kill, to clamp down on people, a reign of terror, a government of terrorism for terrorists. Some of you glibly and frequently write about what we are doing, but you don't understand the enormity of the task. You don't have an idea that I will do as to how big this very task is. You have no idea. Do you know that in Germany, that Julius Berger is lobbying against IPOB in Germany? Are you aware of that? Because they think that if Biafra were to be free, that all the life contract they have in the zoo will come to an end. And they are paid in foreign currency. But they are paid with crude oil. Are you aware of that? People say, oh, have you met this government? Have you met that government? Do you know the obstacles we encounter each step of the way? Do you know what they have done to us in the UK? You have no idea. You have a discussion with them in the UK and they tell you, oh no, are you not sure that this Biafra thing is an Igbo affair? And I say, no, it is a Biafra affair. They say, no. I was in Niger Delta 2-3 weeks ago. I saw them, I met them. They said they want to be part of Biafra. I said, we can allow a plebiscite or a referendum to determine where everyone wish to belong to. They will not do it. Because it is in their interest that the Fulanis are in charge. That the Caliphate are in charge. These are the things that people don't understand. Ask yourself, what is the budget of IPOB? And what is the budget of even an ordinary state assembly compared to what we have been able to accomplish till this very day? We went to the USA, we are seeing very important people. The same thing that UN was telling us in the that's what most of them are telling us. So, because I have nothing to hide, I'm a very open book. They said to us, you've not come before. This is the very first time we're hearing about it. Oh, are you telling us that all these things are happening in Nigeria? I said, of course, yes. Because these two went out and got over every mainstream media around the world. They give them money. They engage very powerful consultants. Do you know what a journalist told me in the USA? He said that they wouldn't want to fall foul of the Nigerian government. And I said, are you telling me that Nigeria has that clout? He said, yeah, of course they do. And I said, who told you? Then they started to mention the lobbyists working for the zoo, giving the impression that the zoo Nigeria is one giant country in Africa that can do and undo. Do you know how Nigeria threatens foreign countries not to support IPOB and Biafra? And to support this notion that the breakup of the zoo will lead to a wider conflagration wider regional instability, which are all lies, of course. Do you know what they tell them in Sweden, in Norway? The zoo will go and tell them, if you support anything that leads or may likely lead to the disintegration of the zoo called Nigeria, then we will use our considerable influence in the AU to make sure that we ostracize you diplomatically across African countries. Nigeria is giving them the impression that they are the ones that control the AU. Do you see where we are going? Do you now understand the enormity of the task before us? Some people think that if you just wake up one morning and wave the magic wand, somehow, miraculously, Biafra will emerge. But look in our homes and in our villages. Are we behaving like people who are prepared for the coming of a new nation? Are we behaving like people who are now ready to accept this new nation? Some of you have not asked yourself this question. A few days ago, should I say, yes, a few days ago, the British High Commissioner traveled to some states in Biafra land. Has anyone actually bothered to ask or find out what was the response of the governors to this very woman when she came? Have you bothered to ask yourself that question? The answer is no. Are you telling me that any governor, let us be realistic, knowing fully well that Britain is the most supporter, the direct beneficiary of the zoo, are you telling me that any governor will stand up and say to the woman, my dear woman, we are fed up with Nigeria, we want to go? Is that what you're telling me? She will go back and tell the candidate, and they will plot how to remove that very person. But it is personalized. The deputy governor says, it's all of my village, and the village is not our turn. Let's impeach him. That is what some of these governors are going through. Of course, I know, but I insist that they must rise above it. They must rise above it. Some of them have conscience. We travel all over the world. We are doing everything humanly possible to ensure that the world understands our plight. Because before they killed 3.6 million of us between 1966 and 1970, they made sure there was media blackout, that no one knew what was happening. Have you actually tried to investigate and research the response of the international community? Anytime the mainstream media all over the world focus and concentrate on a particular news, like the Rohingyas, for example, only just a few days ago, the ICC has issued indictments. ICC, Rohingya, in Myanmar, I'm sure some of you are aware of it. But look at the killings of our people going on every blessed year, the massacre of Dishia, the massacre of IPOB. Not up to 100 of what the Rohingya people suffered. But today they are getting justice via the ICC, but not us. Have you ever asked yourself why? Why Rwanda is not all over the place? Have you asked yourself why is it that despite what the evil that this very cabal and Nassau represent, the whole world have just turned a blind eye? For 2 reasons, this is what they tell us. And this is where, these are the areas that people must understand, focus, concentrate, and use a bit of common sense to approach it. Nigeria is lying to them that they are the giant of Africa, that they are the stabilizer of West Africa, that should there be any disintegration, that the United Nations will not be able to raise enough peacekeepers to keep 350 warring ethnic groups together. That is the lie they are telling them. In other words, the foreign cabal, with the help of the British, is selling this false narrative that any attempt to break up Nigeria would mean that the Yoruba people will be fighting the Oduduwa. Oduduwa will be fighting the Isoko. Isoko will be fighting Ishekiri. Ishekiri will be fighting Benin. Benin will be fighting Idoma. Do you see their lies? And believe it or not, from all our travels, all these lies, because do you know what they do? They go and and pay very influential researchers and NGOs to write all these reports that appear credible on the surface, but very hollow if you search it. This is what they're doing, because they know that if they say that one man from the zoo, one Haji Idris Adam, wrote it in Abuja, that the world won't take it seriously. You know what they do? They pay very expensive consultants abroad to write these reports. Do you know that we go to meetings and they ask us? We say to them, can you see what Amnesty is saying about this? Can you see what this reputable NGO is saying? They will tell you no. It has to come from a white man. The report they accept as being credible or they see as being impartial must come from a white organization. And most of them are funded by very powerful interest groups, very corrupt groups, to write the type of report that will ensure that the zoo continues to exist as a corrupt entity. These are some of the things you people do not understand, do not know it. That is why when somebody conscientiously in a room at the UN headquarters in New York rose up to talk about Biafra, the room became empty. The rest ran away. Because they've all been compromised. They think, oh, I don't want to be the person that will be responsible for the carnage that will erupt in that region should 350 ethnic groups turn on themselves. That is the lie they are peddling. Because the Fulani Alamaji gave the impression that the north extends, their area of influence extends all the way to Benue State. And the likes of Nnamdi will allow that nonsense to persist. That is why we are suffering today. People come and say, oh, why do you always mention Nnamdi? Because he was a learned man, highly educated, more than all of us put together. But look at the mess we are in. Because he lacked the vision and the foresight to understand the mindset of the caliphate. What do we do? Do you know that the entire Sahel, so to speak, all those Islamic countries, you know they support the zoo. Now I want you to understand this very carefully. When you have Britain lobbying for you, remember that Britain is one of the 5 prominent members of the Security Council. Very powerful. When you have the largest oil exporter in the world, Saudi Arabia, lobbying for you, you're in a very good place, isn't it? And then you have IPOB fighting all these monsters. And let me get where I must say. After the time has come for people to actually acknowledge what we have been able to accomplish, given lack of resources, the enormity of the task, and the giants that we are confronting. If not by the grace of God, today we will all be dead. So I say this to you this evening, for you to appreciate the depth of the work that needs to be done for us to accomplish what we're looking for. The level of discipline we need to maintain. When we say command and control, people don't understand what they mean. If we are not disciplined from the top to the bottom as a movement, we cannot succeed because of the people we are confronting. We are dealing with monsters who are very huge. Those are the lies we are facing all over the world. Some of them will say to us, but worse things have happened around the world. The killing of your people, yes. Some went as far as saying to us, the only way there can be any recognition of the difficulties you're going through is if you pick up arms. Some of them out of frustration say to us, if you want us to intervene, you must go to war. But we said to them, we cannot go to war. For the very simple reason that Albania didn't go to war before it got its independence, neither did Kosovo. Of course, there were some skirmishes. There was no war before Soviet Union collapsed and everybody went their separate ways. So we don't want to fight a our fight for freedom, in our fight for the sovereignty of Biafra, you must do to us as you did to Kosovo, as you did to Albania. Unilateral recognition by a powerful country like the USA will do it. A country that has conscience will rise up very soon, I assure you. To say it's time for Biafra to go. But we didn't know our people is because we are Republicans by nature. I give you an example of something in America, Trump's impeachment. In any other country of the world, that wouldn't happen. People sometimes say, oh, you put out everything in the open. It will weaken the state, then it will make us even more stronger. America has a very vibrant democracy. It's the greatest country on this very earth. The longest lasting civilization since man was created on the surface of this very planet. They do everything in the open. What is happening in America will not happen in Russia. But Russia is not greater than USA. The way we do things in IPOB, perhaps if you try it elsewhere, you will collapse. But our openness is our strength. It makes us a lot more stronger. That's something we need to understand. Because our people, they yearn for information. They want us to inform us on what we are doing, and tonight I'm doing it. But it's not every time that you hear very volatile press statements from us, of course not. Sometimes it's very quiet. Everywhere you think nothing is happening, a lot is happening on the ground, I assure you. And that is why every blessed day in heaven in this room, you cannot divide this country. Nigeria is indivisible. We must be one. Let's unite. Why do you think they're saying that? You think somebody will just look at the money and say, oh, let's unite just for the sake of it? I would say it's time for the Igbos to get the presidency so that Nigeria can be one, because we are doing something. And that thing is filtering out. When they ask questions abroad in the international diplomatic community, they tell them that IPOB was here. And this is what they're saying about you. And some of us, instead of us to apply ourselves to make sure that the whole world is aware of what is happening, we spend time talking to each other. We should be this. We should look into the world. Imagine if every politician in all the countries, let me just say, all the constituencies you have Biafrans all over the world. Imagine if your parliamentarian, your councillor, your assemblyman or assemblywoman is aware of what is happening in the zoo. You think the zoo can survive for 1 moment? That's it, no? But all of us, some of us are living in Europe, some are in North America, some are in South America, some are in Asia. They are the closest politicians to where they are. Do not know what is happening in the zoo. Imagine if all the parliamentarians in the UK, of course they all know what is happening, there's some blind eye, were to be reminded of the obligation to investigate and to ask questions as to what is happening in the zoo. Do you think the zoo will be the same? But instead of us to talk to our MPs, talk to our councillors, to talk to our politicians where we are all over the world, we are busy talking to ourselves. That doesn't make any sense. If you are angry about what is happening in the zoo, as everybody must be involved in this very diplomatic effort. Diplomacy doesn't mean you go and sit down and you start negotiating, no. Inform those that need to know what is happening in the zoo. Tweet them, write to them, call their offices, call their assistants. Make sure that everybody that ought to know is aware of what is happening in the zoo. Provide them with newspaper coverage of what is going on, video clips of what is happening, all the write-ups of all the atrocities that the Fulani Caliphate are visiting on the people. Let your MPs, let your parliamentarians be aware of it. And you see what will happen to the zoo. Everybody. Not leaving it to only IPOB to do. It's a very expensive business. We're in America. How many of us travel to go and see, to have all those things in the USA? From all over the place. We convert. Very expensive business, we all know that. How much are we contributing to be enough for us to do all the things that we are doing? But we are doing it all the same, by the grace of Elohim. That is why everybody must be involved. Sitting down at home and complaining, oh, things are very bad. The army checkpoint is here. Oh, they are killing people. They are abducting people. They are doing this. You have all the pictures. You have the videos. You have all the, let's say, the US senators. You have all the lawmakers, even in Russia, because Russia is a democracy, so we're led to believe. You have the European Parliament. You have the United Nations. Even in the zoo in Abuja, UN office is there. You keep supplying them all that information. All of it. Everything you get, you forward it to them. Not jumping from one useless group to the other, looking for where people are making fun of themselves. Where Nnamdi is trying to hold you hostage by talking rubbish and you're busy responding. Why don't you approach those that matter? Approach the UN. Approach every politician you know, even those in Benin Republic, even those in Ghana, even those in Senegal, everywhere. Let everybody on this earth who is a politician and a diplomat be aware of what is happening in the zoo. And as you're doing so, ensure you make them to understand that we are distinct people. We are not one. We are not the same. Before the British came, we were living happily side by side with each other. There was no war. Let them understand that the zoo called Nigeria is an artificial creation. Or else, some of you saw what happened today in Bayelsa. It will continue. You saw what happened in Kogi. Do you think it's going to end? When a Fulani man is in charge of INEC and you expect something good to come out of INEC, are you insane? Are you stupid? What have they ever contributed in their life? I've asked this thing before. Name a Fulani inventor, you cannot name one. Name a Fulani poet, you cannot. Name a Fulani literary giant, you cannot name one. Name an outstanding Fulani professor. There is none. Absolutely none. So what makes you feel that something good can come out of them? It's a very simple question. A Fulani man is running INEC, running EFCC, running the police, the army. What do you expect? There is a problem we have, and I've said this many times and I'll repeat tonight. This problem has to do with our brain, how we analyze, how we absorb, analyze and process information in our brain is highly defective. Look at Bolivia. Do you know that in Bolivia, they gave an order to the army to shoot at protesters and the army said no. That these are our people. But in the zoo, look at the zoo. Because the Fulani Caliphate, they understand that without this gift, all the guy the British just handed them this golden egg. They don't want to let go. That is why they recruit their people, they indoctrinate them. Where they are not Fulani, they use Islam to get them. You ask them to open fire and they do. On the south, anybody who is against Sunnah, Wahhabi tendency of Islam. Understand this very well. That is why they opened fire against the Shia, because it is not their set. That is why they can come down to Biafra land and kill us as many times as possible and nothing will happen. Once in a while they invade Oduduwa land as well and nothing ever happens. They kill at will. How many times have you heard that the army opened fire against protesters in Kanu, in Sokoto, in Katsina? Never. It will never happen. And do you know why it's happening? Because Nigerians are stupid. Very, very stupid. If, as one very eminent man told me earlier today before I came on air, he said if having professors develops a country, that Nigeria should be one of the most developed countries of the world. But that is not the case. can go and go crime or recite the thesis that somebody wrote in 1962. They give you professorship. Doesn't mean you're knowledgeable or that you're intelligent. Doesn't mean that. You have people that claim they are learned. Both the judges, the lawyers, they even foolishly call themselves elite. Elitism. For where? By rigging election. You can see the mess you are all in. I shall get to that later. That the whole Supreme Court is saying that you don't need to tender your certificate to INEC anymore before you contest. So if I am a rogue doctor and I've performed successful surgery once or twice, yet I'm not trying to be a doctor. If you take me to the Supreme Court in Nigeria, they will say, because he performed one successful operation in the past, he is now a doctor. Supreme Court. And these are learned, and I'm thinking to myself, if this is the reasoning capacity of learned people, imagine what is happening to those who are not learned in Nigeria. What I'm telling you is the truth. Investigate it. Let me go back to what I was telling you. The issue of diplomatic offensive is for everybody. Every IPOB family member, every IPOB unit, every zone, every area, everywhere you are in the world, you must get ready. Every politician in every country of the world must be aware of what is happening in this war. Maximum exposure. Do you know why? So that any day we march, nobody will blame you. Because if we march prematurely, the world will say, but you didn't tell us. We didn't know what was happening. And all the lies that the zoo feed them, with the help of Britain, will stick. They'll say, oh, they are rebels. They are coming up again to secede. How can I secede from something that I wasn't even a part of before? Something that was created around a table in Berlin in 1884. How can I secede from my own land, my own hometown? How is that possible? But that's how they write it. You have seen them. Do you know I gave an interview to independent newspaper, one of the largest, or should I say most reputable media houses in the UK. The others said they have interest in it. Once independent newspaper published that very interview from me, the other ones rang and said that is a bit volatile. They don't think they can carry it. Because zoo consultants have told them, please don't publish it. Anything you want, we give to you. That is what we are facing. When the corrupt Archbishop of Canterbury will be entertaining to prison, that he knows that Buhari is dead. I was part of the conspiracy. So they can keep the oil flowing from Biafra. Are you not shocked or surprised that we don't control the resources in our land? Rather than coming and doing direct colonization, they use their house niggers, the Fulanis, to be doing the work for them. And some of you don't even understand what is happening. Some of you do not know what is going on. Or is it Facebook? Are they not against us? Are they not against us? Who is it against us? You don't know the battle that we are fighting every blessed day. You don't know what we encounter on a daily basis. The Fulani invaders have put everybody into captivity without knowing it. Everybody everywhere is a slave and a captive in this thing called Nigeria. You don't know this, but they have brought their Ruga. It is now everywhere. And to ensure that they drive this caliphate agenda of subjugation of everybody who is non-Islam in this zoo, for them to get it right, they brought something called hate speech. I call it the evils of the Fulani Caliphate. These are terrorists. They are blood-sucking all from the north. They call it. They said they're going to establish something called the Independent National Commission for Prohibition of Hate Speeches. This is where they now legislate without debating any issue. Even where the courts make rulings without any reason. A country without vision that is dead and dying.
All right. This is Radio Biafra. Hello, Motherland. Due to the time factor, we could not be able to run it down tonight. In case if you never listened to the word of our leader, Ohamadike one of Biafra, you can request it in your WhatsApp so that you can be able to go through what our leader said concerning the people we are battling with. You can know or you can understand what we are into. In case if you don't have, you never increase your work, it's the time for everyone to increase their work. It's not time for position. It's not time for looking for a post. It's not time for pasting to have a position. It's not time for you to go and try to destabilize what we are doing to make sure that we move forward. Only thing you must put your energy is to make sure that you restore Biafra. Not even to put your energy to have a position in IPOB, because even me, I don't want to do IPOB every day by day until the day I will go to grave. I want Biafra to restore in my lifetime as soon as possible, because there is no place like home. You can hear it when our leader do everything. They went out at the back and pay huge amount of money to destabilize what we are doing, as we are still in the month of Thanksgiving, to make sure that we restore our land. The enemy are not relenting. The enemy are not sleeping. Enemy are walking the other way around, and the enemy are busy putting confusion in the family. But at the end, if you want to be a tools to destroy what we are doing, remember there's a 6 feet under the ground, because there's a people that have paid the ultimate price. There's a people that have sacrificed so that we may be free. There's a people that say, continue this fight, no matter that I'm going in another way. The last word they say, keep fighting. Free my people. Free my people. Whenever you remember those words, you better you remove yourself to be a work of devil. Don't allow the devil to use you, even if he's been using you. Better you remove yourself before you see a death that will come to you. Because in this quest of our freedom, in this time that we want to restore our land, anyone that be obstacle, may our ancestors, may those that die so that we may live, take the person away from this quest of our freedom. Only thing we want is the freedom of our people. Only thing we want is the land of Biafra. Only thing we need is to put our energy to restore Biafra, because Biafra is what we will get. Zoo can go ahead and pay their life off to stop the quest of our freedom. It doesn't matter, and they cannot stop the quest of our freedom. It cannot stop. Many people are hungry. They are crying. They don't have money to eat, but they have the one. They go away around the world to give the people, to dash white man, to cage you. You can see how Zoo is evil, how black man is evil, how people you call pastor is evil, How people you think that you lay your life to protect you is evil. $2 million. $2 million. To dash it out while there's a hungry in a black man. $2 million. Why there's no road in your land. $2 million. Why there's no electricity. $2 million. Where people are crying every day by day. See how they want to put you in a cage. But I cannot analyze it. I will try to analyze it tomorrow. I will try to analyze it, but I want to bring you to where you will understand that those you call elite, those you call, so many of them that choose to call themselves pastor, but they become a devil candidate. They become a Satan that we are seeing. But Elohim will continue blessing our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Israel Kanu, Ohamadike one of Biafra, that are willing to remove us from this mess called zoological, evil forest, evil entity called Nigeria. Whether the hand of Pharaoh like it or not, we have to be free. We have to be free because we are Biafra. And Chukwokikabiam is the one that gives freedom. I still remain your humble servant, Mazi Chidera Odogere. This is where we will call it a day tonight. The Pharaoh like it or not, Biafra must be free.
Pharaoh rapondi mokala, Pharaoh rapondi mokala, ejimo baraku gonjo. Pharaoh rapondi mokala, Pharaoh rapondi mokala, kala, Pharaoh rapondi mokala, ejimo baraku gonjo. Pharaoh rapondi mokala. Ebu abo otumu Israel si na Egypt wepụta. Chineke wenye ha mmeri. Ha wee bụ abụ ma wee laa site na Egypt. Pharaoh rapondi mokala, kala. Pharaoh rapondi mokala. Ejimo baraku gonjo. Pharaoh rapondi mokala, Pharaoh rapondi mokala, kala, Pharaoh rapondi mokala, ejimo baraku gonjo. Pharaoh rapondi mokala. Chineke gara obodo ndọrọ ekwughị shaboku ebe ahụ ka ha nọrọ ọtụtụ arọ ha. Ụmụ Chineke gara obodo ndọrọ na ekwughị shaboku ebe ahụ ka ha nọrọ ọtụtụ arọ ha.
Good evening, wonderful people, great Biafrans, wherever you are on the face of this very planet. We welcome you to another exciting edition of a Radio Biafra live address from my humble self this very morning. I believe that today is the 18th day, is that correct? Of June in the year of our Most High Elohim 2019. The time here now in Los Angeles is precisely 11 a.m. in the morning. No, it's 10 in the morning, isn't it? It is 10 in the morning here. I have lost track of time because I've been traveling a lot. But as I welcome you by saying good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, depending on where you are, so do I expect you to also welcome those around you. They may be Biafrans or not, it doesn't matter. Because we believe that this very gospel that we propagate is a gospel of freedom, a gospel of redemption, and a gospel of hope that will not only lead to the inevitable restoration of Biafra, but will guide all persecuted people out of the shackles and the bondage of Fulani caliphate, domination, and jihadist tendencies. Therefore, if you are privileged enough to be listening to this very live broadcast from